So we're going to start down on the ground. Oops. We're going to get a little bit of shoulder mobility to start with. So we're going to lay all the way down on the ground. We're going to take our arms kind of like a cactus out to the side. Excuse me, man. Excuse. Alright, we're going to work to push those wrists down to the ground. So what I want you to think about is pushing your low back into the ground as well. So you're trying to pretty much push everything you have into the ground. Should feel a very slight stretch around the shoulders. Then while we're keeping that low back engaged with the ground, those wrists engaged with the ground, I want you to slowly slide those arms up. Trying to keep that wrist in contact with the ground. Bring it up as high as you can while still pushing all those aspects into the ground. And then we'll slowly bring that back to kind of straight across. Alright, you're going to relax that for a second. And we'll do the same thing. Re-engage that low back with the ground. Push those shoulders, or push those wrists into the ground. You might feel all that you need to feel right there. So if that's what you have, you can stay with that. Otherwise, you're going to work to slide those arms up. Just working on some rotation at the shoulders. So keep that low back engaged with the ground. Reaching all the way up, very slow, very controlled. You can get all the way up overhead, great. But I want you to go as far as you can while you're still maintaining those points of contact. Alright, just because those wrists are on the ground, don't let those elbows come up. Those elbows should be pushed down too. Alright, that whole forearm kind of flat with the ground. And then we'll come back. Alright, we'll relax for a second. We'll do it one more time, the same thing. Alright, engage that low back, push those wrists and those elbows down to the ground. And very slow slide up. Trying to get as high as you can. Maybe you're getting a little bit farther each time. That's great. If not, no worries. Do the best that you can. Just working to mobilize going into the weekend. And we'll bring it back down. And we'll relax. Alright. So, take that to a seated position. We'll do our double pigeon or fire log stretch. So, sitting Indian style. You're going to take one foot up here. If you don't quite have the mobility to get one leg on top of the other, you can hang that leg out in front, that's fine. Alright, but we're looking to get up here. And we're going to reach that chest out and forward. Should feel that top leg glute turn on. And so you want to reach your chest out. Alright, don't just reach it down. Reach that chest out in front of you. And if you want to deepen that a little bit more, you can put a little bit of a rotation into that towards the down knee. Bring that back to center. Relax out of it for a second. Reach it back forward. Remember, reaching out in front. Very, very important. Keep that proud, that chest nice and proud. Then we'll turn to the knee that's up. Promoting it. Mobility all the way around, back to center, and we'll ease it back up. We'll go ahead and switch legs, other leg on top in that cross-legged position, and reaching that chest forward. So we'll hold here about 10 seconds or so. If you start feeling that glute, that hip loosen up a little bit, go ahead and keep easing that forward. We'll take that chest over that down knee. Should feel a little bit deeper stretch even still through that hip. We'll come back to center. And we'll relax out of that. One more time, easing forward. Should be feeling a little bit more loose, hopefully. Then we'll go over to that top knee. And back center. And we'll ease it on back. Alright, So we're going to start first movement in our kneeling position. We'll do it facing forward. This is one of Chris's favorites, the combat stretch. So your back foot, we're going to kind of turn out a little bit, give us a little bit bigger base of support. What I want you to do is kind of lunge forward into that front knee, okay? And then I want you to push that toe towards, or push your knee towards your big toe. So you should feel a good stretch kind of through your ankle, through your Achilles there. Your whole foot is going to stay flat on the ground, okay? And what I want you to do from this position, I'm kind of pushing into that knee if you want to, just for a little extra effort. Just make sure that heel stays flat. What I want you to try to do is lift those toes up off the ground. You're really going to pull those toes up, still keeping that foot nice and flat on the ground, creating tension through the whole front of your shin, through your hands, through your glutes, and relax through there. Alright, warm that up a little bit. Alright, we're going to try that again. Pushing that knee forward. Keep that ankle down. You want to get that knee as far forward as you can while we're still maintaining that contact with that foot. Then we'll go ahead and pull those toes up nice and strong. We're going to hold it, keep that tension, pull, 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 and relax. All right. Starting to warm that up a little bit. I'm going to try one more time, same side. I'm going to push that knee forward a little bit deeper, even still. Hopefully you're feeling that ankle wake up a little bit. And go ahead and pull those toes up. Trying to create as much tension through that lower leg as we can. Keep pushing that knee forward. Holding for 3, 2, 1, and relax. All right. We'll go ahead and switch sides here. And so that whole leg is getting engaged all the way from the hip down through the hams, through the quads, glutes, calves, and the front of the shin. Alright, so we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So we'll pull that back leg around just to give us a little wider base of support. We're going to push that knee forward out towards the big toe. We're going to make sure that we feel a little bit of stretch in that ankle first. And try to maintain that knee, okay? You can keep going forward if you need to as you go through the stretch, but really try not to pull back on it, alright? Keep that pressure going forward in that knee. So once we're going towards that big toe, feel that stretch in that ankle. We'll go ahead and pull those toes up, creating that tension through the front of the lower leg, through that shin region, engaging all of those muscles that we don't work too often, and relax. So a lot of times when we run a lot, that front of that shin hurts, and we often misdiagnose that as shin splints. So shin splints are actually your bone, an issue with your bone getting microfractures. But typically what we refer to as shin splints is actually just that muscle in the front of your leg, that anterior tibialis muscle that we're working on right now. It's just not used to the repetitive pulling the foot up. Usually when we walk, we push down on that, push down through your toe, but it's that kind of pulling up motion that we're not used to, and that muscle just gets super fatigued. Alright, so we're going to work on that a little bit more. So kneeling position, push that knee out over that toe, find that stretch through the ankle, and really pull those toes up, all those toes, trying to push that heel down to the ground, keep that knee going forward towards those toes. Pull those toes up, hold, 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 3, 2, 1, and relax. So you feel that muscle turning on a little bit. That's exactly what we were shooting for. Alright, we'll give you a second to shake that out. We're going to go one last time on this side, our third rep. Make sure we're nice and planted. That knee goes forward, big lunge into that side, towards that big toe. Get that stretch in that ankle. And last time, pull those toes up, all those toes. Keep that weight in that knee, that chest pushing forward. Keep those toes pulled up, hold it strong. Come on, give me 10 seconds here. Keeping those toes pulled up, create that tension in that low leg. Final 3, 2, 1, and relax. All right. Ooh, that's a good one. That is a good one. Alright, so next one we're going to take it down to the ground. We're going to work a little bit more on that shoulder mobility. So this is a great, very practical, functional stretch if you ever find yourself face down and handcuffed. We'll make sure that you're as comfortable as can be. If not, this is great for shoulder mobility. So you're going to lie down, face down the ground. I'm going to keep my head up so I can talk to you. But so what we're going to do is going to start with those thumbs going up, okay? We're going to try to lift those arms up, and then we're going to turn those palms down. We're going to try to rotate those palms all the way around. So my palms are up when I'm in that T position. I'm going to keep those palms going up as I get to my behind the pack kind of handcuff position, okay? In this position, whatever side you want to, I want you to grab one wrist with one hand. And then I want you to lift those hands up to the ceiling and creating tension, putting space between your wrists and your low back. Hold there and relax. All right, go ahead and switch your wrists in that same position. We're going to go lift up, hold, 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 and relax. All right, then we're going to reverse that. Those palms are going to go up. We're going to rotate those around until our thumbs are up at the top. And then we're going to relax. All right, so you got an idea of what that is? So you want your forehead touching the ground, ideally. It's really going to help us engage that upper back. I'm going to go again to the side so you can hear what I'm saying. So we're going to start with those thumbs up. We're going to lift those arms. And we're going to slowly bring those hands all the way around, flipping those arms until we get to that handcuff position at the low back. Really want you to kind of get as high up on that low back as possible. Okay? Once you have that wrist, go ahead and lift. Push into the ceiling. Trying to get some, again, mobility in those shoulders. Holding there. 3, 2, 1. And relax. Go ahead and switch those wrists. One more time. Back up. Push, push, push. Try to squeeze those shoulder blades together. Get those shoulders rolled back. Hold them there for 5. Last 3, 2, 1. And relax. All right, re-engage, bring those arms back out, and rotating all the way around, and back down. All right, we're gonna go one more time with that same thing. Feel those shoulders getting nice and loose, I sure hope so. So last time you know to do thumbs up, go ahead and lift, and slowly rotate around. Until we get to that handcuff position. Grab those wrists and lift. Again, creating tension in that upper back. We're going to hold this one a little bit longer. Create tension just like that combat stretch, lifting those toes. Want you to keep pushing toward that ceiling. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Go ahead and switch arms and lift. Create that tension, pushing those wrists to the ceiling. How much space can you make between those wrists and that low back? Hold there for 5. Last 3, 2, 1, and relax. Slowly engage, bring those arms all the way back around. Thumbs end up, and bring it down, relax. All right. Feel good on those shoulders, huh? We're going to bring that all the way to standing. We're going to get a little bit of a windmill action here, something that you're pretty familiar with. Just promoting a little bit of mobility through those hips and through that torso. All right, so we're going to get our feet about shoulder width apart, maybe just outside. I'm going to start with my right hand. Put my right hand straight up in the air. So those shoulders are nice and loose so that mobility is there. We want that bicep to kind of go right to the ear, okay? Make sure that we're not just kind of cheated out in front, we're not cheated out to the side. I want you to go straight up and make sure that head is nice and neutral, all right? So none of this, straight up. All right, elbows nice and extended. I want you to really reach for the ceiling. We're activating our traps, our delts, all those shoulder muscles, getting those hands up overhead. Okay, left hand's going to go down to the side. I'm going to cheat my hip out to the right side. So wherever my hand is straight up, my right hand is up. I'm going to cheat my hips out to the right side. I'm going to take my gaze up towards my fingertips. I'm going to slide my left hand down my leg to that ankle, or as close to that ankle as I can get. All right, keep those eyes looking up. We're going to hold here. Find a way to get comfortable. Holding for 3, 2, 1, and slowly rising back up until we're back to that starting position. Go ahead and relax that arm. All right, I'm going to go same side. I'm going to do all 3 on one side. All right, take that gaze up, left hand down, cheek those hips out, and slide it on down. All right, the slower you can go through this, the more control you can exhibit, the better this is going to be for the long run. Once you really hold that down position, feel those hips working. Maybe you got some lat tightness like I do, and you're getting that stretched out a little bit. And let's go ahead and bring that back up and relax that arm. All right, just imagine if you're holding weight, that weight would be so heavy right now. All right, one more time. Let's bring that arm straight up. Take that gaze up. Cheat that hip out to the side and slide that left hand down that left leg. And get all the way to the ground this time. We're going to hold there. Stay strong. Flexing out those hamstrings. A little bit of that thoracic body. Keep it up. We're holding there. Another 5 seconds. Last 3, 2, 1. And roll it on up. Nice and easy. And back down. All right, we're keeping that upper arm engaged, right? We're actively reaching towards the ceiling. We're going to keep our feet right where they are. The left hand is going to go up. Remember, extend that arm. Actively reach for the ceiling. Extend that elbow all the way out. I'm just going to look up at that hand. I'm going to cheat those hips out towards the left side this time. And that right hand is going to slide down that right leg. So maybe the mobility is not quite there as it was compared to the last couple reps on the other side, which is fine. And let's bring it on up. Hopefully each rep we get a little bit deeper. All right, we'll take that back up. Cheat that hip out to the side and slide it on down. Remember, keep those eyes looking up. It's really going to help with getting your chest open. And do your best to keep those feet flat on the ground. I'm going to hold here for just a touch longer. 5 more seconds. 3, 2, 1, and roll it on up. And relax that arm. Last time, I really want you to focus on getting that arm up there like you're holding the weight. You gotta be able to support that weight. Last time, reach that hand up, shoot that hip out to the side, and slide it on down. Yeah. Nice and loose this final time. Reaching up, really extend that arm. Are you pushing to the ceiling or you're reaching that? Your hands should be kind of reaching opposite directions. Right hand reaching towards the ground. Left hand reaching towards the ceiling, creating length. 5 more seconds here. 3 more seconds. 1, and relax. Roll it on up. And bring it down. All right. So last one here. It's going to be a pretty simple way to end things. We're going to do a little bit of that bootstrap squat or that deep hamstring, squat hamstring. So you're going to take those feet about hip width apart in your normal squat position. We're going to push those hips back. Hands are going to go to the knees. And we're going to try to get that hinge activated, reaching as far down as we can until those hamstrings are nice and extended. If we can get all the way to those toes, it gets to those toes. If you can't quite there, if you need to bend that back a little bit to get there, you can. But I want you to try to get that back as straight as possible. We're going to hold that forward fold. Again, trying to keep those those backs nice and flat if possible. And then we'll go ahead and bring those knees into a good deep squat position. We're going to hang out here for about 10 seconds. You can rock side to side a little bit if you want to, using those elbows, push those knees out if you want to. Some youth in those hips. Alright, we're going to slowly bring those hips back up. We're going to hang out in that forward fold. So each time we get back to this position, I want you to recheck that back. I want you to really work on extending those knees if you can. You don't need to lock them out, alright, but I just want you to extend them. So you should be kind of pushing your hips back away from those heels. And let's go ahead and slide that back down into that squat. Extending the crown of the head towards the ceiling. Nice proud chest. Getting those hips down nice and low. If you can't quite get to this position, right, if we're here, just getting as low as we can, that's fine. When we're here, our muscle should be unloaded quite a bit. A little bit more of a stretch in this position. Alright, let's last time bring those hips up. Again, we want to get those legs as extended as possible, those hips as far away from those heels. Backs are nice and flat, or as flat as it can be. Mine's kind of slacking off a little bit. There we go. So you should definitely feel those hamstrings getting engaged. We're hanging out here for 5 more seconds. 2, 1, and last time, sitting all the way down. I'm going to hold this deep squat for about 20 seconds. So find a place to get comfortable. Again, I want you to really emphasize pressing those knees away from each other. You can let go of those toes if you want to. Use those hands kind of as like a lever, pressing away. Last few seconds of our hold here. Nice proud chest. Crown the head to the ceiling. Last 3, 2, 1. And we can stand that on up. Alright folks, that's going to do it for our Friday evening strength flow. Hopefully you had a great week. Hopefully you have a greater weekend. We'll be back on Monday with some mobility, 7 a.m. Until then, we'll see you. Enjoy.